we noticed that there were some changes in our game and things were not going as smooth as it was previously. I felt quite left out, to be honest. I used to cry to my parents like every night. I would call them like, I feel left out. I don't want to be here. I don't feel like being here and stuff like that. At that time, maybe you don't know your amount. So whatever amount they give, I'm like, oh, I just do this and I get this amount. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great. I mean, like, give it to me, I'll do it. But
yeah.
like, what I learned along the way is definitely knowing your value, knowing your worth.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Average Not Average podcast. I'm CK.
And I'm Viktor.
And today we're joined by Malaysian badminton superstar Thinaah Today we're joined by Malaysian badminton superstar Thinaah Muralitharan. Thinaah is currently ranked second on the world BWF World Rankings list for women's doubles, and in the last 12 months she's won 4 titles and reached 7 finals. Thinaah has also won a silver medal at the 2025 World Championships, reached the semi-finals of the 2024 Paris Olympics, and also a gold medal in the 2022 Commonwealth Games.
Thinaah also has a following of over 200,000 across the socials, and having worked with many brands such as Volvo, Huawei, and Sharp, so she definitely knows a thing or two about personal branding as an elite badminton player.
Yep. And Thinaah is actually also our very first woman on the podcast. So this is a huge milestone for us. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for making time. So this is such a very important thing for us. And we really love some female perspective on the podcast. It's about time. And so today we'll be chatting to her about the business side of her career, including her personal branding, life growing up in Malaysia, as well as being absolutely very fluent in Mandarin, as is Viktor as well. And obviously, lastly, we'll be talking a little bit about her badminton career, obviously with the achievements, especially in the last 12 months.
Exactly. As CK says, we're happy to have you, Thinaah, and we're looking forward to the conversation. So let's get to it. How are you doing?
Hi guys, first of all, thanks for having me on this podcast. I mean, once like CK reached out, I was like really excited. So first of all, I'm really grateful to be here. And yeah, so far so good. I just got back from Indonesia last week, I think.
Congratulations on winning.
Yeah,
Thank
congratulations.
you. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, for now it's just training, and I have a block of training for this month because there's no tournament for me. So I'll be in Malaysia this whole month before the All England's in March. So yeah, I mean, how are you guys doing? How's everything?
You want to start, CK? You want to start with the good news or the bad news?
We'll start with you. I can follow up later.
No. I'm doing okay. I'm not, as you know, I'm not on tour at the moment. So in the badminton player, Viktor is not doing that good. But I'm doing okay. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, I think the Viktor as a dad is winning more points than Viktor as a badminton player at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad game is very strong. My badminton game is not very strong at the moment.
Awesome. And then I mean from our side, also I've not been to the Asian legs earlier this year, so I missed that. I think last year Malaysia Open, this is where we filmed our very first video for the podcast in January 2025. So it's been a full year since our very first recording. So it's come a long way. But then I think we released our first episode in March, so at the German Open, and so I'll be at the German Open again, and so that'll be like a little if we can find some way to make like an anniversary episode at some point with Viktor, so 100% we'll try and do that. But yeah, it's been exciting, it's been good.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, but how's your injuries and stuff like that? Everything on track, or?
I wouldn't necessarily say on track, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm really, to be honest, I'm just trying right now to get pain-free. So actually, I'm not in a position really to think about playing so much, more about just getting, healthy. So I'm focusing a lot on that right now, and trying to stay positive. So I don't know if you have had, back issues, like this, but like I have like constant nerve pain. So it's a bit of a headache.
Yeah, I think especially the back, that's the main cause of everything. I mean, of course, you do everything using your back, right? So having that pain is really annoying, actually.
Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Yeah.
So
do Do you know if you have the same injury as Zijia? Because his is also back pain, quite lower down as
I
well.
think I'm not sure about the details, but I guess it's sort of the same. Like for me, the bulging disc and the shooting nerve pain down the leg. I've had that on a few occasions, but now it's just like constant nerve pain. So like just permanent nerve pain. It feels like right now. So I don't know how. I saw he's still playing.
Mm.
So I saw he withdraw today, though, I think, in the match.
Yeah, I just saw the results earlier as well.
Yeah, so hopefully it's not too serious. It's definitely something you want to take very seriously.
I think just for context, I think we're recording this a little bit earlier for everybody. So today, meaning quarterfinals day at the Thailand Masters, the Super 300. So Zijia pulled out today. Okay, I think also at the same time we're going to start talking about badminton for a little bit. I think Viktor, you had a note here saying that you really enjoy watching Thinaah and Pearlie's very aggressive style of play.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. Of course, me personally also like when I can to play rather aggressively. So I really enjoy your play style. I want to give you credit for that a lot. I think it's great to see. And to be honest, I love watching your matches. And yeah, so I just wanted to ask if that's something you just naturally, both of you, is something that you agreed on from the early start, or is it something that you have been, obviously you're training everything, but at this level you need to be good both in the defense, offense, and around the service and everything. But is it the aggressive style? Is that something that some coaches have been trying to push a lot, or is it something which just come natural to you as well, or a combination?
To be honest, thanks for watching our matches. That's an honor as well. But I think it's something that comes in naturally, to be honest, because in doubles, to get points, you definitely have to have the killing shots and everything.
Yeah.
And Pearlie is a huge smasher, and she's way more aggressive than I am. So when things like while we play and stuff, we tend to adjust accordingly because some places the shuttle is slow, there's wind and stuff like that. So there's always attack and also defend. But we definitely enjoy the attacking and the rotation play more. So actually our coaches do emphasize on that a lot because that is our style, our rhythm, and that brings out our identity as a pair. So I think like in recent matches also, we kind of lost that identity a little bit, but we're trying to slowly get it back. Because we noticed that there were some changes in our game and things were not going as smooth as it was previously. But I think now slowly, especially in the Indonesia Open, we're starting to get back that rhythm and to get that more consistent and get it even better. So that's something we're now really working on, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Very cool.
And you've been world number 2 for almost 6 months now. Do you feel the pressure at all? You're now like a top pair in the world that everybody's coming for you guys.
The pressure is always going to be there, especially as you said, world number 2, right? But in Malaysia, we are considered the number 1 in Malaysia. Mm-hmm. So I think pressure, there's always going to be pressure, but it's how you handle it and how you take that pressure to change it into a motivation to do it even better. Even those small changes, that 1% can make a big difference, especially in the game. It doesn't have to be tactical. It can be strength. It can be physical. It can be mental. It can be that relationship that I have with Pearlie or with the coaches. So that's what we target each day. It doesn't have to be 100% thing every day. Just that 0 or 0.1% that really helps a lot in the game actually. Because it's doubles, it's not it's not a 1% thing.
Yeah,
it's a 2% thing. So you have to also know what's her feelings in court, what's my feelings, how we work together, find a solution. So like you said, pressure is going to be there, but how we turn it into motivation and find a solution to any problems that we have.
Yeah. I think in Viktor's book, pressure is a privilege, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I think just, it is something that, especially now, actually, when I've been out for so long, you could have times where of course, you're excited about getting on court, but sometimes if you have a lot, you will feel like a little bit uncomfortable, either going on court or, before going on court or being on court. But that's actually something that I miss a lot right now, is that feeling, the feeling of, the pressure. It's actually what I miss the most. So that's, from the outside now, it's, it's quite an interesting lesson that's what you'll probably end up missing. That's the, the high stakes situations and the pressure, even though sometimes it can feel, if you lose those, very important matches, but that's actually what you're probably going to miss the most when you retire at some point.
Okay. And then I want to talk about another type of pressure. You both are very clearly huge role models for fans, for especially younger players in both your respective countries and also globally now. So Thinaah, lots of young girls globally look up to you, regardless of where they are from, like just seeing you there. And then Viktor, lots of boys, growing up, they want to be with you all the time, including lots of girls. They come. Do you both feel the pressure to always behave nicely, properly outside, like very professional? Or sometimes you just got to go, okay, this is it?
I think, Viktor, you can go first.
I think for me, it has actually been quite important to, be myself on court. I've had moments where my temper has really boiled over, and it's very easy to see for people and for fans that, I'm rather angry. So I've been, quite emotional on court at times. And, I think that's, important to show that that's a part of myself that I can't put all the way to the side. So the problem is, I think, is that if you from early on in your career, you sort of feel like you have to change yourself when you're on court, and you have to be like either, whatever, which doesn't really fit your personality. I've always tried to be myself, and that takes away the pressure of being something you're not. And I think that's, so it hasn't actually been a big thing for me. I've had moments where, it really boiled over, where I know that I made a mistake, like being way too emotional, but that's also just a part of being a competitive person. So that's the way I want to carry myself anyways.
Awesome. Thinaah?
Yeah, I think personally for me, I don't really change my character too much. It's just that maybe what I portray in social media is not as I don't go as crazy as I am as with my friends, because people do look at me as a role model and stuff like that. So like some things that I'll definitely keep it professional, but some things I'll be thinking, why do I want to keep it professional? I just want to be me. After all, we are also human beings, right? I mean, we also have a life, we have friends, we also have badminton and stuff. So it's how I juggle around. But usually in social media, I do not really portray that much. But sometimes yes, but not as much. But in reality, yeah, I'm just being me. I mean, people can judge. It's their wish, they can say whatever they want to say. Not everyone's gonna like you, and not everyone's gonna hate you. So why do you wanna think of others? Just think for yourself and the people that loves you. That's already more than enough, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. And then I think just quickly talking about family as well. You have a sister that play? Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I have an elder brother and a younger sister.
Okay.
So actually, I started badminton because of my elder brother.
Okay.
So when we were really little, he used to go for badminton trainings, and I would miss him at home. I'm like, he's already gone for training and stuff. Then I'll be waiting for him to come back. And then my dad told me, why not you just follow him for training so you can be together? I was like, okay, you know what? Why not? So that's when I started like going training and stuff. But then I stopped for like 8 months, because whenever I go for training, they'll be like, you have to run, you have to do some physical and stuff. Like, no, I just want to play. Small kid just want to hit the shell and not run here and there, right? But then after that 8 months, I still kind of missed having my brother. Then I started back, and then our relationship grew like really strong and stuff. And then slowly my sister also saw the both of us playing and stuff, and she also joined. But sadly, that my elder brother, he stopped when he was 13. He wasn't that interested anymore. And then, but my sister continued, my younger sister. We're just 1 year difference. So we continued, but she stopped when she entered the national team for a while, but then she stopped because she was more interested in studies, because she wants to be a doctor. So she went into she's a more studious person than me.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think Victor, from your side, like relating to your childhood as well, because you and your sister also play, right? And then, yeah, very quickly you have to decide.
Yeah. I started out also playing. I actually played with my cousin when I started out first. And he also decided that badminton was not for him rather quick. And my sister also started, but is also in the same situation as you and your sister. She's way more clever than I am. So she went into studies and is having, she's doing her PhD now in psychology. So she went the right way for her, I guess, and I also figured out my own way. So she also just played a little bit more recreationally rather than professionally.
Okay.
Okay.
And then so quickly going back, talking about play, you've recently experienced the time clocks at Indonesia.
Oh yeah.
How was
Yeah,
it?
the 25-second time clock, right?
Yeah. How
So
was it?
actually, to be honest, during the first round, I didn't even realize the time clock
Okay.
because it was actually quite a long time for the 25 seconds, because in that 25 seconds, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to ask the umpire whether you want to wipe sweat or drink water or whatever. You can do in 25 seconds. But if the opponent is ready to serve, you also have to be ready.
Okay.
So, but other than that, it wasn't like a big difference, I felt. It was just there. It was just under the scoring system. The second you'll be like reducing, but it doesn't make a big difference. But I think it's also a nice thing to have, because you don't have to just ask to wipe sweat or anything. You can just go ahead, do it, and then you just come back on court. So yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Was it more natural? Was it more like, does it feel natural, or did you feel that the matches go longer or shorter? I felt that the match clocks, the total time didn't really change.
Actually it does. Because if you dive and people has to mop the floor, they do pause on the time clock, because that takes a longer time. But I felt like some matches were faster, to be honest. Like there's no big drags and everything. But some players also commented that some people got very fast warnings, yellow cards. Some also had red cards during the tournament because of this duration. So yeah, there's still some people arguing about it and some people okay with it. But for me, I'm totally okay with it.
Okay.
It's probably something where, in the start, you need to figure out a way in order to make it a little bit more, natural for the game. So of course, when you bring in new things, there is probably some tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
True.
I think I'm pretty positive about that. The shuttle clock. I think it's a good initiative.
I think so. I agree. Because I think looking at some of your matches, I think Thinaah, when you were playing, I think especially in the semifinals, like you both pairs were serving at around 16 and 17 seconds left. So it was really like continuous play. I think what was struggling to catch up was the replays. Like after every rally on TV, they tried to do the replay, but they had to sometimes even, like before the replay is done, you guys have started serving already. So maybe the TV guys go like, look, guys, calm down, slow down a little bit. Yeah. So that was what I felt like the playbacks or the slow-mos couldn't catch up before you all started the next rally. So, but I think that's a good problem to have. And like Victor said, like little tweaks, it will make it work over time. Have they announced what other tournaments will run the time clock?
I'm not so sure, but I only know that they started in the Indonesia Open, but Indonesia Masters, sorry. But I think it's a good thing that they started now, so they know what's the problem now and they can fix it in the future. Not to have it in a major tournament and this happens, then it'll be a really big issue then. But it's something new, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
3x15.
3x.
Yeah, 3x15.
Yeah, are they gonna vote again for the new scoring system, or how and when?
They are
April.
going to vote, I think, right?
Yeah, I think
so
at the
it's
AGM.
not confirmed. Okay. So yeah, I mean, from my point of view, to be honest, it's something new. I think for women's doubles, it's something that we need, because our games like go super long, 1.5 hours, 2 hours.
It was you.
But I think
It was you who said it, not us.
I know that you guys are going to say it anyway. I'll let it out myself. Yeah, I think it's no harm trying it, because it's something new. Like even the time clock is something new. It's no harm trying. But I definitely know that games will definitely be faster, and it might even be more intense because the points are shorter than the 21, right? So everyone's maybe just go full in attack or full in focus, and it definitely will be more intense. But a worry is also maybe I'm afraid it might cause like injuries or stuff like that because you're going in fully intense and then you don't know like how the rallies are going to be during that 15 points and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely going to be pros and cons to it. But if we don't try, we also don't know. It's definitely something new because I've been playing with 21 points all this while, right? So I don't know how 15 points is going to be, but it also might help because our tournaments are really like packed the whole year. So it's like back to back, back to back, back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I feel about the 15 points.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I think it suits very aggressive players like you two, no? I think 3x15.
Yeah, I think it does help. Like I said, we never try, we never know. Because we're so used to having the 21 points, right? So maybe in the 15 points, our focus and our focus mentally and physically, we have to like really increase a little bit more. Because if you lose 5 points, you're already 5 left down. You only have 10 more points to play. So that really will affect your focus, your mental, and all the preparations you're having. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how, for sure in the start it will be shorter matches, but it's gonna be fun to see when players get used to it and stuff, and it will even out a little bit. But of course, when you have to play fewer points, it will be shorter matches. But yeah, I also think it will be good to try to see. Like, I think I think it would be a good thing for the sport because I do think that we have way too long days. So even though you split out the first rounds over 2 days, I still think it's way too long days sometimes. So yeah, it would be good to see and good to try.
Yeah. And also Super 1000s going to 11 days starting from next year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be super interesting. I'm not sure how everything will go, or everything will change. But I think it's like kind of like a new Formula 1 season with the new rules. Like this year is going to be chaos for the first year, and then slowly converging towards everybody having like the routines and optimizations and stuff like that. So I think it'll be super interesting. And talking about schedules, how does your schedule work? Like, I mean, Victor, can you briefly give Thinaah like a European style schedule, and then compare it with Thinaah's schedule?
Yeah, it has always. I have always found it very interesting how the different schedules and also the amount of training time. European players versus Asian players, and how we sort of both able to make it work. I would say like when I was younger and at my peak, I think I was one of the European players who practiced the most. So I would have like. When I trained the most, I would have like very early in the morning. The training for the men's singles and the doubles would usually be when I was in Denmark back then would usually be split up. So we'd maybe start at 10, then I would have like skills in the morning, either 6 or 7, and then I would have breakfast, and then I would go practice for 2 hours, would go back, and then I would have an hour skills in the afternoon and then gym. So that was when I trained the most. But I would say when I peaked, when I was here in Dubai, was like 2 hours in the morning, then rest, treatment, and then I would have like skills 1 hour in the afternoon, and then followed by gym for an hour. So max like 4 or 5 hours a day is like when I at my best. So I'm interested to hear how. I know you do quite a bit of running. Are you still doing that on the team, or how does your schedule actually work?
Okay, before I get back to yours is like every day, or do you have full days off or half days?
The weekend would usually be like a little bit more like I would have one day where I maybe went out to do like a more easier court session, maybe 1.5 to 2 hours, and then some gym, and then Sunday or Saturday completely off.
Oh, okay. So weekdays every day.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, I need a day off because when you go clubbing the day before, you're pretty smoked the day after.
I like that.
Let's go.
No. Obviously not, but no, always one day off.
I think for us, we have many courts in our national setup. So singles and doubles will train almost the same time. So like morning sessions, we have court, usually in the mornings, from 7 to maybe 10-ish. And then like for me personally, me and Pearly, sometimes after our core sessions, we just go and have some light gym, some stability work, mobility, something like that. And then in the afternoon, we have either gym or physical. So it depends. Like for us, every Monday is afternoon is gym, Tuesday is physical. And then on Wednesdays, we get half day. So it's just morning match plays, and then you get the rest of the day off. And then Thursday, every morning is court for us. So Thursday and Friday morning court, and then Thursday afternoons is the gym, Friday afternoon is physical. So in physical, we have like running, bike, agility. So it depends on the condition. So our SNC works really close with our coaches. So he monitors our court intensity and also adjusts accordingly our gym sessions and our physical sessions. So that really helped a lot. And Saturdays we have half days as well. But Saturdays is quite flexible. Sometimes we have like just fun games and stuff, or maybe it's like aqua jog and those kind of things, or just light training. Sometimes we have match plays as well. And then Sundays are just full day off for us.
Nice. Okay.
So
So gym and physical are completely different things. Like physical is more functional workouts. I'm assuming like I said, agility, like fast feet and stuff like that. Whereas gym is mainly more strength, stability. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Maintenance.
So like physical is like running, by cycling, those agility like jumps and those kind of things, explosive stuffs. And then gym is just focusing on gym, either leg, hand, or the full body. It depends on the condition. So that's why the SNC and the coaches really like discuss with us how's our conditions every day, every session, after every session. So I think that really helped out, really understanding our condition and our body even more. So yeah, thankfully they're very open to communicate about this.
Okay. And each what's it called, the training package is designed for the player, or is everybody doing about the same thing, and then you then decide to do more or less depending on the day? How does it work?
I mean, the schedule is like that for all the players, but like the half days, our doubles department will get half days on Wednesday, and the singles department they get half days on Thursday.
Okay.
And then on the weekends it's the same. We just have Saturday half days and the Sundays full day rest. But like court sessions, gym sessions, it varies within departments, like men's doubles, women's doubles, mixed doubles. So we have different timings for all of that. But the program, the structure is kind of the same, like the morning and then the afternoon.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
What do you do on your off day?
Clubbing.
Oh, on no. Used to, but not anymore. I'm getting old for that. I mean, on Wednesdays, usually it's just full day sleep, just rest, be at home. But on Saturdays, it's more functional. Sometimes I like to go out with friends or family, because Saturdays, usually I go back home. My house is about 45 minutes from where I am here, now in KL. So usually I just go back home, have good meals with my family, or just maybe movies, or just be at home. That's the day off. I don't really like go out too much or anything.
Yeah.
No.
I think I'm not sure if Victor is aware. Wednesday, I don't know if this is still true. So I grew up in Malaysia. Wednesday nights, I believe it's what they call ladies' nights. Is that correct? At the club.
Some is Thursday.
Yeah. Some is Thursday. Okay. Okay. Victor, do you know what ladies' night mean?
Not really, other than you can probably get, as a lady, you can probably get cheap drinks or something, I guess.
You go in for free, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're going for free. I think free drinks or it varies. I know different places has different things. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, suddenly I just remembered Wednesday nights growing up in high school. Like all the boys, they always just want to go, and they always say Wednesday night is the ladies' night, so that's why they want to go out on the ladies' night.
It was only your friends who wanted to go, right, CK? You didn't want to go.
No, I never went.
Of course
So
not.
I went to an all boys school, so there was no girls in school. So yeah, they had to go during ladies' nights, unfortunately.
So that's the more of the reason you have to go on Wednesday, right?
Well, in that case, I missed out because I didn't go. In that case, I missed out. Yeah, I did not go. I did not go at all. Okay. I mean, yeah. Any more questions about ladies' nights?
I think we're clear about it.
No, I wanted to ask about, like, in terms of, you said you did some different activities and stuff like that. I feel like pickleball, a completely different topic, but I feel like it's coming a little bit more to Malaysia, no? Like, it seems like there are more and more courts coming. Yeah,
Yeah, to be honest, there are a lot of courts right now for pickleball.
yeah. How do you feel? Do you feel like it will compete with badminton, or?
I think for now, because badminton in Malaysia is considered the number one sports, we have, definitely football, but badminton is also the number one sports. But I still feel that badminton is leading the chart right now. But definitely a lot of other, like even ex-badminton players, the ones who retired, they are playing pickleball right now because I think it's not as intense as it is in badminton. So even when you're retired in badminton, you still can pick up the spots in pickleball. And they're having these tournaments every weekend and stuff like that. I mean, they're making effort and stuff like that. That's interesting to see. And yeah, in the future, I don't know. It might become an Olympic sport in the future. What, I'm not so sure about it. But it's actually it's a good start. I mean, everyone's looking at it as a sport, and many people are getting more active because it doesn't have an age range. Like, maybe badminton, they say, oh, you only can play until your 30s or your 40s. But pickleball, even though you're a bit more elderly, but you still can play because it's not as intense as badminton.
I
But I
just
don't know how is it in other countries and stuff. I mean, for you,
It's more paddle tennis
Paddle.
here in Dubai and
paddle.
in Europe, I guess. But it is, like, from what I understand, it was or is still the fastest growing sport in the States. I was just like, for me, I just saw a lot of social media, I think, from Malaysia as well on the pickleball side of things. And to be honest, I don't think, like, obviously you have BAM, which is like world class, facilities for badminton, but you have surprisingly few good badminton halls in KL, I think. Really, like, so yeah, it was just like interesting to see how many courts for pickleball comes, while, I haven't been to, without, just being completely honest, I haven't been to another place besides BAM where I feel like, oh, it's nice to practice here in KL.
I
I can
think
see
to
why,
be
actually.
honest, BAM has one of the best facilities. I mean, the carpets are good, the
Yeah,
aircon and everything. But there are also many badminton courts, but not as top notch as what BAM has. To be honest, I've actually played like maybe casually with friends outside, but sometimes the flooring is a bit hard or maybe too soft or those kind of things. So I still feel BAM has the best
yeah,
courts as well.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there is BAM, which is world class, but if you're not at BAM, it's very hard, considering that badminton is the biggest, it's the biggest sport in Malaysia. There is surprisingly few very good badminton courts, actually. It's just a
Yeah.
observation from a foreigner.
Yeah, I think it could be that because badminton is quite a traditional sport, and also players who play the sport, I've found and realized, are also quite loyal. They will show up as long as there's badminton to be played. And so I think the demands for upgrading in terms of facilities are not that, I think players are not that demanding. Whereas with pickleball, you see like everyone comes in with nicer equipment, and also like within social media, it's also shown to be very classy, very cool. It's a very social thing. I think it's also quite a social thing. And I think that then drives the demand to push that. I would love for badminton to also do exactly the same. But then I think if the customers, i.e. players like us, we don't demand it, then I think the operators doesn't feel like there's a need to do that. And if they can still charge the same rates and keep raising prices every time just to keep with inflation, then they will not feel the need to improve. So we should demand more. Everybody.
I think they're just too comfortable where they are right now.
I agree. Yeah, we need to do better.
definitely something to put out there. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then I think just talking about it, growing up in Malaysia, we can move to growing up in Malaysia. So, you from KL, Thinaah, like Selangor originally?
Selangor, yeah.
Okay, and then so moving to BJSS, BJSS Victor is the elite
Sports school.
sports schools that obviously all the national junior team is based and played at. So you moved to BJSS Bukit Jalil Sports Schools. I'm assuming for high school, or were you there for
Yes, for
primary
high
school?
school. No, high school. There's only high school there. They don't have primary school.
Okay. I mean, I'm from Penang, so I have no idea about BGSS whatsoever. And then, so from BGSS, like, how did you what was it like growing up? Like, you clearly, like, badminton players, like in Denmark, badminton players are the cool people within society. Like, if you're good at badminton, you're cool.
Whoa, cool, hot stuff.
On a court, you're cool.
I think it was a privilege actually to be selected into the sports school, because not many people can get in, to be honest. Like during my time, the way they select is every form. I mean, like every form that you study in, they only pick 6 girls and 6 boys.
Oh wow.
So from all around Malaysia,
Okay.
the whole of Malaysia, to be
So
honest,
you have to be
and
the
6.
top 6. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we have tournaments like when we were younger, when we were like 11, 12 years old. So coaches from the sports schools, they come and see these big tournaments. Then that's where they select the few bunch of people. Then from there we go for a selection. And then after the selection, then they will shortlist the people out, and then they will just pick 6 for each form, like Form 1, Form 2, as you go in high school. So it was a very competitive thing in primary school, because you have to be one of the best, and your results really got to go top. Then only that people can really see you. I mean, that's what people see these days, right? They just want to see results. So I didn't get in the first year of high school, but in the second year they called me back. So that's when I got in the sports school, and it was not far from my home. So my mom and dad, they were really supportive, to be honest. Actually, I think I'm the odd one out in the family because my mom is a doctor. I mean, she's retired now, but she's a doctor. My dad's an engineer, also retired. And now my elder brother's an engineer, and my younger sister's the doctor. So, like, yeah, I'm the weird one out.
You're the professional athlete.
But the thing that I'm really grateful is that they don't force me into studies or anything. They just wanted me to be happy, and they were really supportive throughout the whole career. It's like, it's okay, you can study when you're old or stuff like that. You can, but life as an athlete is not long. It's just for a short period of time. If you don't do it now, you might not do it, and you might have regrets and stuff like that. So that's when, like, I didn't feel the pressure or burden by my own family. So that support that I had from them, and that really helped me to go and explore myself in these sports. So I think definitely without them, I wouldn't be here today as well. So we wouldn't be here speaking to you guys as well.
Wow.
That's great.
I don't know, I'd be some doctors in some Europe countries or in Malaysia or something.
Let's go. STEM.
No, but that's great. I think my parents were, are very similar. Like, they didn't push me to do anything. I wasn't paced in a direction, So it's great to hear that you had the same experience. I feel like that's that's a great way to go up and get good at something if you have the support, but have the negative pressure of feeling like you need to be a doctor or you need to be a lawyer or an athlete or whatever.
Yeah, I think, the parent support it really plays a big role in your child's life, because they are the ones that you look up to, right? So I think that support really helped a lot.
I think I also just wanted to give a little bit more context as well, because obviously growing up in an Asian centric family, Asian culture tends to be, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. It's quite locked in. Like as soon as you're born in an Asian culture family, you're supposed to be a lawyer, you're supposed to be a teacher, you're supposed to be a doctor, you're supposed to be X, Y, and Z. So it's quite it's refreshing to hear that, you know, like Thinaah, like your family really allows you to then that freedom and also a opportunity to explore and then also develop as you go along. I think like similar with my family, like our parents pushed us to do the things that we want to do, and not necessarily things that we don't want to do. And then so I think so like we've also been very lucky to be able to end up where we are. But I think the common thread is families have to be incredibly supportive and also open-minded, because I think there's only so much that you know at that point in time, and then you keep finding new things, and then you might enjoy that new things, and then you go from there.
sure.
Which is I think it's amazing. Like without family support, none of us would be here actually.
Yeah. To be honest, that's really important. The family's role in the child's career and their life, that really helps.
Yeah.
Do they travel with you sometimes? And for me, you know, my dad has been my manager for the most of for my entire career. Do you have like in terms of like the personal branding? I know it's two questions in one, but do you have an agent, or do you get any support from anyone in terms of like all the things, you know, around badminton, all the commercial side of things?
Actually, to be honest, it was quite, I mean, not recent, maybe about 3 years ago. That's when like people started to get to know about me and Pearly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then a lot of like agencies, they did approach, but we weren't familiar with these kind of things.
Mm.
And then definitely a senior helped me throughout. So I'm actually under an agency, but at the same time, I have my elder sister and also a friend helping me out in these kind of things, so that I don't have too many things to juggle on. And
Mm.
like you said, this personal branding, it comes from, you know, I don't know, some people I don't know how they get my numbers and stuff, but definitely in Instagram and Facebook, they reach out. Then I'll just give them my sister's number or something, then they will contact them and then they'll get in touch. And yeah, it's been like that until now actually. But now I'm more clearer on how to approach them, how to really talk to them. Because previously I was like really had no clue about it. So I had to talk to a lot of seniors, a lot of people about it. I'm still learning, to be honest. I'm still not like a pro at it. But yeah, I'm still learning step by step. But I know you have your own branding and stuff like that as well. So how do you go about it? I mean,
Like for me personally, now I'm, you know, obviously way more invested in it myself. But in the early days of my career, you know, basically back then when I didn't, you know, earn a lot, my dad was getting more and more involved in terms of the commercial side of things. So I actually hired him back then, you know, got a manager so I could focus full on badminton.
how is it having a dad as a manager, to be honest?
Actually, it has been, everybody else has been surprisingly great, because like sometimes like there's a lot of good managers and agents out there, but sometimes, you know, the talking about parents again, they know you the best, right? So I always knew that my dad wouldn't say yes to something which wouldn't, like, one, fit my personality, and two, you know, try to just like earn and not focus on the sport. So he has sort of always known how much I could, you know, handle in terms of the commercial part of the sport. So it has been naturally good. If you're good at switching in and out of the dad, son, and the agent, you know, of course there will be arguments along the way, but I think it has been, you know, very nice. And now I'm a bit more involved myself as well. And you know, it's been a good learning experience in that regards.
Yeah. I think it's made a difference. I think, like you said, if you are able to separate sometimes dad son, or you know, parents daughter relationship with the business, because sometimes business decisions are not linked. They have overlaps, but they're not linked. Yeah, I think that makes a real key difference on here. And also like from conversations that I've had with players or with stakeholders within the sport of badminton, it's still not very common for players to have agents at this point in time. For example, like in basketball, football, even tennis, it's through agents only. You know, like, so I think most of the time it's very frowned upon if someone approaches the player directly. But I think in badminton it still doesn't exist at this point in time.
Yeah, I think for now in badminton, a lot of they get it direct. They find the players directly, not through an agent and stuff like that. Like, but personally for me, I like to have my elder sister. I mean, it's my cousin sister, to be honest, to be on board, because it's like working with family.
Mm.
So that definitely like helps to grow the relationship instead of working with someone that I don't know. So that's why it's like quite interesting to have her along with me, and so she understands like what I'm going through and what I don't want. So our interest and everything, it's still the same mindset that we have. So yeah, I think it's been going quite good now.
That's
Mm.
great.
Yeah. I think, Victor,
Yeah.
is there any lessons that for example, like that you can give Thinaah, for example, like just highlighting kind of red flags, like before you go into a negotiation, like if someone comes up with these things, they're normally red flags, if it's too good to be true, it's red flags.
Yeah, that's always a good one. But I think also it's about also making sure that, like, first of all, of course, like, know your worth, basically, but also making sure that you don't say yes to, because when you start to do well, there will come a lot of opportunities that you don't say yes
Yep.
to 1,000 things, so you end up like doing a lot of small things, also money wise, like you do a lot of small things here and there, because like small sponsorships like often require just as much as big ones. So try to slowly, as you get to a certain point, like aim for the like bigger agreements, which you also know that you can give 100% focus, because it's a shame yes to like small smaller contracts which still
Yeah.
require a lot of time, and then ending up not being able to handle both the trainings but also the big opportunities that comes along the way. So sometimes it's about learning to say no and waiting for the right thing as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's something I've been going through as well. I mean, in earlier stages, that when I wasn't really aware of this, when small things come in, you'll be like, oh, this brand finds me, this brand is like, you get excited, along the way. It's like finally I'm being known, people are recognizing me for this, and at that time maybe you don't know your amount, so whatever amount they give, I'm like, oh, I just do this and I get this amount. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Good.
great. I mean, like, give it to me, I'll do it. But
Mm.
like, what I learned along the way is definitely knowing your value, knowing your worth. So I've been talking to a lot of people about it, and like what I did previously as well. People are like, "Ah, you give so low amount for this much of work and stuff like that." So that's when I started learning, like, oh, actually, for this amount is actually this amount of work. And yeah, like you said, slowly I'm also looking for like the bigger and long term things, because as you can see, the tournament schedule is also going crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm also I'm not able to accept those small things which requires a lot of time. Like, you have to fix dates for your shoot, the photo shoot, video shoot. So that also will take out your training days and stuff like that. So that's something also we're working on. So for now, like what you say is totally true. I mean, to see the bigger picture in things instead of the small ones.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also having so my perspective will not be from an athlete's perspective. It will be more from a content creator perspective. And then also, I mean, people call us influencers online. I'm not sure who am I influencing, but I go from a content creator perspective, and I think it's almost identical actually, because there'll be a lot of brands who will be reaching out. For example, no matter what type of content creator you are, I think it will all start with gifting. The gifting is a part of the content creator culture, and then you'll have to make a decision somewhere down the line, because like Victor says, every small little one you have to invest energy into it. And for me, from my experience, every time we sign a partnership with any partners, we want to go all in, and all in meaning we have to spend a lot of mental energy, and actually energy just per se. Like preparation. I think people don't see that preparation and post-production that takes up so much time. The easiest thing is always actually recording. That's the easiest thing, because if you've prepared well, the session will go easy, and then after, the before and after is super easy, super hard. It's the during. And so I think safeguarding that energy is very, very it's precious for us. Like within our team, it's such a precious thing. And then hence again, like for example, you both saying yes to coming on to the podcast. So Victor saying yes to this project. This is absolutely, like we appreciate that so much, because we realize that everybody has a finite amount of time and energy to give. And investing in the right project is super important. But then I think there's also a common thread where all of us had to learn through experience. all of us had to hit some walls, I guess, at some point to learn this experience. So there's no real go to this university or go to this school and you can learn all about this. Not really, isn't it? It's all through trial and errors.
Yeah, not everything you can learn in school, right?
No,
You have to
no.
go on in the real world.
Yeah, you got to go out in the real world. Let somebody take advantage of you at some point, and then come off. We pick ourselves up again, stand up. Yeah, as we
No, but then again, also I think like we're going through a time now where, you know, the badminton sport is developing where, you know, there is more, you know, commercial opportunities also comparing to like 10 years ago or whatever, especially also with the rise of social media. So it is a little bit of a new territory in terms of, you know, all the, you know, the TikTok and the Instagram and social media advertisement kind of thing. So it is something you have to learn along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, social media has been the biggest impact, I think, the biggest change that we are having right now. Like
Mm.
everything is on social media, but
Mm.
not everything is positive in social media, and not everything is going to be true also in social media. It's how you use it in the right way, I feel. Because personally, I think some people are not using it in a right way, and some
Yeah.
people are taking advantage of social media and stuff like that. So yeah, you will learn it along the way. It's something that you need to take note of. I mean, not everything is going to be nice. There are going to be
No.
nasty things in social media. It's how
Yeah.
you process that and then move on with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what Victor said earlier on, being yourself is very important. But then also with social media, there's also a conversation about how much do you show online. Because you know, like some people live stream 24/7. I mean, I certainly don't feel the need to, and I certainly don't show everything online because there's no need to, because I'm already present online a lot. I think it's like you said, it's a really fine balance. A, with helping the business and also the brand, but also B, letting people know and get to know you, learn who you are, promoting yourself. Because I think for this one, Thinaah, in terms of personal branding, I think I messaged you and said I found it really hard to find any information about you from the personal branding business side outside of badminton results. Whereas, for example, if you Google Viktor, there's a website, all the partners are listed, what is he doing, you know, like even events where he's going to be playing and stuff like this. So like there's like a list of things. I mean, I guess Viktor has invested in this for the last decade and a half now. Yeah. I mean, Viktor, in terms of impact for say like Thinaah, what would you recommend first? Would it be like something like a website, or would it like formalize an agreement with the manager? How would that work? What would your advice be for players, high
Oh,
profile
it's hard.
players?
Everybody is different, right? Like, you know, I like to do other stuff because it gives me a little bit of energy. I'm also you could say, also in a different part of my career now. And I would say though that making sure you figure out, you know, how do you want to position yourself in terms of branding as well, and which partners would you like to work with, and then trying to scope in there. And it would be a good idea to have an agent or somebody helping you at least a little bit, not only to, you know, look at the potential offers that's coming in, but also reaching out to potential partners who would be good to work with and stuff like that. Maybe there's an agent who has contacts already, making sure that the contract with the agent is fair, of course, is very important. And then a website is good to have, even though people use social media nowadays. It's still good to have like just a simple website, and it's pretty, you know, cheap to have done. And you know, I think, you know, that it's a good thing to have, but making sure you position yourself brand wise and have good people you can work with, I think that's, you know, that would be a good thing to have for sure,
Yeah.
down the way as well.
Yeah, I think I can totally agree on you guys on that, because I think for me personally, for personal life, I think I've been very low profile about it. I don't really share much on social media, especially. It's just random things, yes, but not to say until like I have to post every day and stuff like that. No, I'm not that active on social media, to be honest. And
Mm.
plus with all those these kind of AIs and things and rumors and news, I don't know which to trust nowadays, to be honest. I'm like looking at this picture, I was like, is it real or is it AI? Like, these kind of things bring up, right? But
Mm.
like you guys said about the branding, yeah, I think this is something that I really can take note of, because it definitely will help me. Maybe not now, but maybe in future, maybe after I retired. That's something that can connect me with other partners and other business deals or something like that. So yeah, this is something I definitely would like to talk to my sister and my friend about it, and how we do it better, like making a rigid profile about it, and then putting it like what you said, put a website. Then it's easier for people to communicate or email, stuff like that, instead of just texting me on Instagram and then waiting for a reply and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so for the website, I can add. So I have a website, ckwyw.com, and a lot of the partners that I've worked with, and a lot of the brands that I've worked with now have actually reached out through my website. So I have like a little contact form on the very bottom of the homepage, landing page, and a lot of them now, the people that I work with now, they all reached out via that, and it was just such a simple page that I put up a few years ago. So it does have a lot of impact because it comes in, it's an email. You can decide to respond or not, make that decision. But oftentimes, yeah. So it's been, I can say it's been really effective for me. So it's been worthwhile having. Yeah. Yeah. So talking about, I mean, obviously we have actually slid into the business side of things already. But before that, do you both know that your birthdays are just one day apart?
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Okay, because
like when your next post like happy birthday, the next day is like it's his make the next day.
Okay, yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't notice that. I mean, I knew that Yonex posts happy birthdays, but I think mainly it's more sunrise, right? I think mainly it's more Yonex sunrise that posts the happy birthday messages.
But BWF, they post some like short videos and stuff sometimes for birthdays. So yeah.
Yeah, true. And then also, here's another one. Thinaah, you speak fluent Mandarin, just like Viktor. So actually, all three of us could speak Mandarin on the podcast.
Do a Mandarin podcast one day.
They have to add subtitles at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So was it? So did you learn it because you went to BJSS, and like, was it a part of the curriculum that you were attending in class, or is it just because you have so many friends who speak Mandarin and you cannot be left out?
Yeah, actually, I started speaking when I entered the sports school. I had zero knowledge in Chinese actually. So during my first 3 months in the sports school, it was, I can say, hell. Because in badminton, there's mostly Chinese and they speak Mandarin every day. So I felt quite left out, to be honest. I used to cry to my parents like every night. I would call them like, I feel left out. I don't want to be here. I don't feel like being here and stuff like that. And then my dad like suggested, why not try learning a word a day? He was telling me, I was like, how to learn a word a day, how to memorize these kind of things and stuff like that. And then I went to talk to my best friend about it. And she said, actually, Chinese is quite easy because we tend to talk about the same thing every day. It's like, example, like, 你几点要吃？你吃什么？几点练？ It's like, what are you going to have for dinner? It's like almost the same thing every single day, you know? It's like you mix with us around more, you tend to pick up the language. I'm like, yeah, easy for you to say. But to be honest, I don't know how it happened and when exactly it happened. But I think after 1 year, I don't know how, but I started speaking the language. But the pronunciation and all, it wasn't very fluent yet. But they were like correcting me in ways like, oh, this, Chinese, they have that 4 sounds and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm still learning, Then they used to laugh at me. I mean, why not, right? You can just laugh, but I'm still learning in that part. But slowly, I got a hang of it. And yeah, I mean, here I am. It's just mixing with friends every day that helped me speak the language.
That's
awesome.
That's an
you
awesome
didn't have
story.
to go through the boring classes and everything. Just
No, I didn't.
That's great.
That's an
your Mandarin, your Chinese is really good, really.
No. It's okay. It has been fun learning for sure.
It's good to have an extra language,
Yeah, just before AI makes it possible to just talk whatever you want, probably soon. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In saying that, so I have a few in Instagram reels. So Instagram now, they can automatically dub your voice, which also sounds like you, into other languages. And then so recently I've had Portuguese and Hindi already on some of my reels. It is scary. It is scarily good. I sent it to my family and they're like, "This is you? You speak this language?" I was like, "No, but this is all completely AI." It is so scarily good. It sounds exactly like me. Even the mouth moves exactly the same to the tone that you're saying. It is
Crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. I will send this to both of you, and then it is crazy. I think both of you probably will also have that feature on Instagram on your profiles, because I think they do offer it to slightly larger accounts, and then I'm sure both of you will have access to that. But yeah, I thought, you know what, might as well share the badminton content that I'm making with other people, and then yeah, so I now speak Hindi and Portuguese.
But that's scary, right?
It is scary. It is absolutely scary
Yeah.
because it sounds
Yes.
exactly like me, and then the mouth moves the same way, and Spanish. So I can do 3 extra languages now. I do Spanish too.
That's pretty key. Good job.
Yeah.
But wait till you meet someone in person and they're like, okay, now you speak.
Yeah. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, no, do not do that. But yeah, so it is scary. I think it's a fine balance, isn't it? Like both you said. Use it for the right things, it really amplifies your work. Use it for the wrong things, it gets scary very, very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thinaah, you have some questions for us. So so before the podcast, like you sent through a list of questions. Do you want to ask Viktor some of the questions already?
If he's open to it, are you ready? It's just very casual questions. Hang on, that's my okay. Yeah, actually, I asked CK about it. I mean, why were you like interested in this podcast in the very beginning? I mean, what made you want to do the podcast actually?
I think actually I did a podcast way back with which HK, has Christian Wittinghus, and one
Yeah.
way back, I thought it would be good, for the sport. First of all, obviously CK and his team are very, very, very good and professional in this space. And for me, if there was like a longer format platform, all the interviews we do is usually very short, like how was the game, all this kind of thing. And I think one of the things in terms of us players is that it's very, very hard for players to actually, if you don't do it on your social media, to express yourself, in a more personal way and have an open conversation where you actually can finish your sentences. And I think a longer format like a podcast is the best way of doing that. So that's why I went into this. And also, CK and the team are doing an amazing job in terms of making it easy for me to do these episodes as well. So, it's just for the sport, I want to do good for the sport and for the players. And I think this is a good way of doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. When I got to know about the podcast, I think it's a very good platform to express and to let people know more details of what is actually going on. So I think this is a really good platform for it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
We also hope you feel comfortable being here.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, comfortable and also grateful.
Yeah.
That's good. Happy to hear.
Okay, yeah. The next one I wanted to ask was like, yeah. I mean, most of us know that you've won 3 Olympic medals, right? So my question is like, you won the bronze in your first Olympics, and going in the second Olympics, you won the gold. What was your mindset and your feeling going into the third Olympics? I mean, definitely the expectations was high, and you definitely wanted to give your best, maybe get another goal and stuff. But I mean, how did you manage that? What is the expectation? What's the feeling like going into the Olympics?
Like, obviously the Olympics is by far, the biggest and experience in terms of the Olympics is very important. I feel like, at the Rio Olympics, like I got so much valuable experience in terms of that, playing the bronze medal match against Lindan at that time and winning that was something which gave me an extreme confidence boost in terms of in these, most important matches, in the really high stake, situations. And then basically also through I've always been rather good at preparing for the major tournaments in terms of peaking and making sure that I perform in the bigger tournaments. Also at the World Championships, I've, done well on a few occasions as well. And I think the more you can accept that the feeling of being extremely nervous and, more tense at the Olympics, because it's simply, that it's only, one shot every fourth year, the more you can accept that the thoughts will come and try to focus on the actual gameplay, then that's a huge that's a huge advantage in order to be able to do that, and being able to accept that you will feel the Olympic pressure and being prepared for that. And I think many athletes, they sort of neglect that. When you get on court and you get to these matches, you see many surprises at the Olympics also, because I feel like people are not maybe they don't respect, the pressure, the magnitude of that.
They're not accepting that much, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I knew that for both Olympics, that I basically just tried. When I got into the Olympic Village, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go around and looking at all these athletes and focusing on all the parts which are different compared to normal badminton tournaments. I just basically logged in, went to the food tent, back home, watching series, didn't watch social media, just full focus. And that helped me a lot, that I didn't read the news, I didn't do this and this and this. I just tried to make it as simple as possible. Once I had a framework for that at the Tokyo Olympics, how that worked, I basically took that and put it into the Paris both preparations and the actual performance. There was a huge difference in that at the Paris Olympics, my friends were there, my family were there, and I basically said, listen, during the Olympics, I'm not going to be seeing you much. I'm maybe going to see you, but I'm not going to be socializing. I'm just only going to be focusing on this because I know this works. And then after the games, we can be together. So being upfront about the potential scenarios. And you can easily get drawn away a little bit at the Olympics because, you can go to the cafe, you can go here to the food tent, you can go see this sport, all this kind of thing. Nothing was important to me other than the performance itself. And I think that helped a lot, also having that experience from Tokyo.
Oh, okay. That's something that really, it's good to share. I mean, many athletes, they definitely wonder what is it going in. I mean, the first Olympics is definitely going to be different from the second and third Olympics. The feeling is definitely going to be different. So to know what you feel during the Olympics, it's something good to know, actually.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is different, and you just have to accept it's different. And there are things which will be, more, the beds are different, all the kind of thing. The food, maybe you don't really find, but you just have to accept right away that it will be different, and then you find a way to make it work on the first few days, set your base, and then you just follow that through, and don't focus on it feeling like you cannot go out the way, go out and eat this and this and this. That's just the Olympics, and you have to take that as a charming thing as well.
Yeah, totally agree.
I think it goes back a little bit to safeguarding the energy, because because when you're in a new place, like when you're visiting a new place for the first time, you spend so much energy worrying, like, oh, can I find food? Can I find this? Can I find that? And I think Viktor just locks in with that energy and go, look, I cannot socialize because I need to save this energy for the court preparation. And I've listened to this one a few times, but then every time I hear it, it still gives me goosebumps because of how much, in one way, sacrificing time with family, sacrificing time with external world, and just getting so locked in. I think very few athletes really appreciate how tough that is. Like even standing, me as a third person, not having no Olympic experience whatsoever, you can feel that being locked in. It's safeguarding energy. Yeah. You have one more?
Yeah, I think just one more.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I mean, you've been world number one for quite some time. Say, how do you actually manage those expectations when you go in tournaments? Because you're definitely going to be the top seeds in most of the tournaments, small tournaments, big tournaments, whatever. And definitely people are expecting you to win those tournaments. So how do you manage those kind of expectations, and what do you really tell yourself, or how you prepare yourself for the match like that? Because recently, I mean, after becoming world number two, in the last 6 months, these things like really got to me, and people like, you know, started. I mean, we do have expectations on ourselves, me personally, and as a partner, but other people's expectations are also coming in, and then we are doing quite good. But I think it's also nice to hear it from you, like how do you really manage these kind of things?
Mm. Well, I think first of all, you know, if you want to be, you know, when you get to a certain point, and when you get up into the world rankings and you be world number 2, world number 1, once again, there will be pressure. Like, one thing is that, first of all, it's very, very impressive that you even got to this position, right? And how you got there is very, very, people always talk about when you get there, that's easy. And then, you know, staying there is very hard. And that's true, but it's not true. It's also not true, because in order to get to that position, you have done so many things correctly. And those things you have to keep while still, of course, keeping hungry. The problem is, if you get to world number ranking, number 1, for example, and you see that as a, you know, if you're so orientated that you're like, okay, now I'm at world number 1, that's very nice. We are happy about that. But I think for me, it was very important just to have processes in the daily training and also in the bigger picture, like goals, for example. Okay, I want to be better at this serve, I want to be better at this shot, and then putting extreme focus in that from day to day. And of course, you have result goals. You want to win an Olympic medal, you want to win Super Thousands and stuff like that. But in order to do that, there are so many processes you have to go through on a daily basis that if you focus on, okay, I reached this milestone here, that's very, very good. You know, then you start to take away from the processes. Not that you shouldn't enjoy being in the position you are, but you have to make sure that the process is how you get to a better level, how you get a better player. Every time you go out to training in the morning, no matter what ranking you are, you have to keep that hunger for getting better, and then the results will follow. So I think it's extremely important, especially for me, because if winning an Olympic gold was like the end goal, you know, then I wouldn't have the motivation to keep, you know. And after my Olympic goal, I actually played better than ever almost, because I had so much focus on, you know, oh, hey, if I can win Olympic gold while feeling I still have so many processes I need to go through in order to reach my fullest potential, like, what can I actually achieve, right? So I think, rather than seeing the pressure and the position as a huge burden, I think you should be way more excited about, okay, I'm 28, you're 28, right? I'm
Yeah.
in this position now, and have so many things that I can get better. You know, what if I get better in all these parts and take one small goal at a time in training? Then, you know, before you know of it, you will probably be, you know, in an even better situation. So it's really about not seeing it as something negative. And, you know, if the news and the social media thing, then just don't read. You know, I know it's easy to say, but really, during the Olympics, I didn't read any news. I didn't read the comments on the social media. You know, you can still, even though it's hard, you can still isolate yourself from that, you know, if it really burdens you a lot. So I think focusing on the processes and making sure you put your focus where you know you have to put your focus in order to, you know, get positive energy, that's very, very important.
All
Uh,
right. Yeah, I
can I
think.
can I
Oh, yeah.
Can I
Sure.
also
Go
add
ahead.
one more? I think this might be also related to, say, you playing doubles, Thinaah. But then I think one comment that I remember Viktor saying at the Olympic Village was, Viktor, you requested a single room, a solo room, right? When you were at the Olympics last time around, and normally that doesn't happen because you have to share a room with another athlete. I think, Thinaah, I'm assuming you're sharing rooms with Pearly or whoever on tour. But then the isolation technique was Viktor requested ahead of time to the contingents to say, look, I really need this, and then this will help performance X, Y, and Z. And turns out it did. You know, so I think having that extreme focus and preparation, going all in with no stones unturned in terms of preparation, and then also execution, I think, yeah, that makes a difference. It sounds extreme, but to achieve extraordinary things, you have to be extraordinarily extreme in some way, you know. So this is also another testament to Viktor's preparation and how all the details matter. And then, so for him, yeah, to be able to have that. So I just wanted to add that as well.
I mean, for me personally, I think me and Pearly talked about this, and then, but now we've actually requested for, even in tournaments, for single room for each of us, because as doubles partner we have our different routines,
Of
like in
course.
the morning, in the afternoon. So we don't want those routines to be disturbed by one another. And not to say that I don't like her, or I don't want to be with her, but it's just that personally we have our own things to do, like before the match and stuff like that. So we don't want to mess that up. So I'm really grateful that this request is accepted and they allow. But I didn't know in major, because as what I know, major tournaments like the Olympic Games, Asian Games, all the multi-sports games, you have to share a room with
Yeah.
another person.
Yeah. You of course, like in the apartment, usually there is more, like, obviously when you get to a certain, like when you have won the gold before and you're like a medal contester again, of course you get, the ability or the chances of you getting, but still you can still, I think it's very, very important to communicate that, this would really help me. If, for example, during the first week, maybe there is other sports where it's not possible, but if there is something where one of the sport they finished or they lose and they travel home, is it possible that maybe we can move around so I at some point can have like a single room, all the kind of things. I think it's just important to communicate to the team that, I feel like in order for me to perform the best, this would be great. Is this possible?
You gotta ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Mm.
True.
Yeah,
Couldn't agree more.
yeah, 100%.
Great questions. Thanks for that.
These are really, really good questions, and then also like the Victor's response as well. Like I think I don't think I've heard a 15-minute response, Victor. Like that was excellent. I really enjoyed it.
We went
I
over
think
time.
most I think most people don't know what athletes go through, especially during the Olympics. They just see what they see on TV, but they don't know what's going on in the village and how's our preparations before the Olympics, how do we feel before the Olympics, and those kind of things. So I think like sharing it out to make people realize and know things more, so they really know what's going on before the games instead of just watching the games. Yeah.
And I think a podcast like this allows us the time without the pressure to be able to explain thoroughly what those concepts are, because I think people only tend to see the surface, right? And then so there's a lot that goes in, like years and years and years of preparation to go into that single 2 weeks, essentially, if you think about it. A decade of life, 15 years of training going into that 2 weeks. I think people forget that there's a lot more that's behind it, and it was very important to be able to kind of explain that properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, do you have any other questions for us? I think this one might make the longest episode, but probably one of the most interesting ones for me.
Yeah, it was great. Looking forward to this getting out there.
I think from my side it's everything. I just wanted to know the feeling of it. How do you go in and like? Oh yeah, one more before we like end. How's it going in mentally? Your mental preparations for these kind of things.
It's again, a little bit back to the same, but making sure that you have all the bases covered in terms of, what if I get a blister? What if what if is there any supplements I need to have if, whatever, all this kind of thing, making sure that you front load the things which actually could happen and making sure when you're there, and then try not to make it it is Olympics and there's a lot of pressure, but just accept that it will feel this way. And when the thoughts come, you acknowledge that you have these thoughts, okay, this is big, and don't expect yourself to play your best badminton necessarily in the first rounds, or even, you fall to the level of your preparation, I want to say. So just making sure that you don't try to create some extraordinary things like in the days leading up to. Just trust the process leading up to the Olympic Games, and then try to see it as a big privilege being there as well. I think that's the best advice I can give. And then try to just focus on actually playing badminton instead of focusing on the court is the same size anyway, right? So the more
There should be.
Yeah, the more you can, let your body do the playing, and the racket do the talking, the better. And that obviously requires talking about the scenarios or the pressure that might be beforehand.
Yep, totally agree.
Great.
Yeah, I think
Thanks.
a lot of life lessons. I think, Victor, that is your third book condensed in the last 20 minutes.
No, I'm just, it's great questions. Thank you. And it was a pleasure having you on as well. It was It was great.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best in the training and the next few tournaments, and then we'll be cheering for you.
Yes,
100%.
thank you so much. And I hopefully you get back on court as soon as possible.
Thank
Always rooting for you.
Thank you so much.
Because I think before the start of the start of the podcast, I was asking Thinaah, it's like, have you actually spoken much to Viktor? And it's like, no.
It's like just hi byes and like, oh, what's your game? And so, yeah, not like they don't have like a coffee session and stuff like that. No, not like that.
Maybe now it's time.
For sure.
You never know.
Yeah.
We shall meet up when we meet then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I need a day off because when you go clubbing the day before, you're pretty smoked the day after.
I like that.
Let's go.
I have always found it very interesting how, the different schedules and also the amount of training time, European players versus, Asian players, and how we sort of both able to make it work.
I think for us, like morning sessions, we have court, usually in the morning, from 7 to maybe 10-ish. And then me and Polly sometimes, after our court sessions, we just go and have some light gym. And then in the afternoon, we have either gym or physical. Our doubles department, we get half days on Wednesday. And then on the weekends, it's the same. We just have Saturday half days and the Sundays full day rest.
What do you do on your off day?
Clubbing.
No. Used to, but not anymore. I'm getting old for that.